The banquet hall was packed with faces I'd known for 6 years. My wife's parents had gone all out for our anniversary party. White tablecloths, centerpieces with roses, a damn champagne fountain. Her mother had been planning this for months. I stood near the back, nursing a beer, watching her work the room. She was good at this. Smiling, hugging, playing the perfect daughter, the devoted wife. 6 years of practice made her convincing. Her father clinked a glass, and the room quieted down. Time for speeches. My wife stepped forward, beaming. Her mother dabbed at her eyes with a tissue, already getting emotional. "I just want to thank everyone for being here tonight," she started, her voice warm and sweet. 6 years of marriage to this wonderful man, and I couldn't be happier. The crowd clapped. Some people smiled at me. I didn't smile back. She continued, building up to some sentimental conclusion, but I'd heard enough. I set my beer down and walked toward the front. Her eyes widened slightly when she saw me approaching. Probably thought I was going to add some touching words of my own. I took the microphone from her hand. The room went silent, curious. 6 years of marriage, I said, letting that hang in the air. And 3 months of you sleeping with my brother. The effect was immediate. Her face went white. Someone gasped. Her father's champagne glass slipped from his hand and shattered on the floor. Her mother made a choking sound and grabbed the table for support. "What are you doing?" my wife hissed, reaching for the microphone. I pulled it away, telling the truth. 3 months, maybe longer. Hard to say exactly when it started, but I've known for 3 months. Her mother collapsed into a chair. Her father just stared, mouth opening and closing like he couldn't form words. The guests started whispering, a low buzz of shock spreading through the room. "You're insane," she said, loud enough for people to hear. "This is some kind of breakdown. Is it? Should I mention the motel on Clearwater? Or the text messages? I've got screenshots if anyone wants proof." She grabbed my arm, nails digging in. "Stop this. Now." I shook her off. "You threw this party. You wanted everyone here. Well, here we are. Let's celebrate honestly." Her sister pushed through the crowd. Ellen, younger by 2 years, always quieter than my wife. She looked between us, processing what she'd just heard. "Is this true?" Ellen asked, looking at her sister. My wife's face crumpled. "It's complicated. He doesn't understand." "Complicated," I repeated. "That's one word for it." Ellen turned to me, and there was something in her expression I hadn't expected. Not shock, more like confirmation of something she'd already suspected. "I'm sorry," she said quietly, and I got the distinct impression she wasn't apologizing for her sister's actions. "If you need anything, support, or just someone to talk to, I'm here." The way she said it, the way her hand briefly touched my arm, made it clear what kind of support she was offering. My wife noticed too. Her shock turned to fury. "Ellen, what are you doing?" Ellen didn't back down. "Being honest. Unlike you." I looked at Ellen, then at my wife's devastated parents, then at the room full of people who'd come to celebrate a lie. "I'm leaving," I announced. "Anyone who wants to come with me is welcome. Otherwise, enjoy the champagne." Ellen grabbed her purse without hesitation. "I'll drive." We walked out together, leaving my wife standing alone in front of everyone she'd invited. Her voice followed us, high-pitched and desperate, calling my name, calling her sister's name, trying to salvage something from the wreckage. The parking lot was quiet. Ellen's heels clicked on the pavement as we headed to her car. She unlocked it, and we both got in. For a moment, neither of us spoke. "I didn't plan that part," I finally said. "You coming with me?" "I know," she said, starting the engine. "But I've watched her treat you like garbage for 2 years. I kept hoping you'd wake up. 2 years, at least, maybe longer." She pulled out of the parking lot. "Where do you want to go?" "Because I'm betting you're not going back to your house tonight." "Good bet." I leaned back in the seat. "Anywhere, but here works." She drove in silence for a few minutes, then glanced at me. "For what it's worth, you handled that better than she deserved. I would have set the building on fire." I laughed. Couldn't help it. That would have been memorable too. "Next anniversary, maybe," she said, and there was a slight smile on her face. My phone started buzzing. My wife, then my brother, then her parents. I turned it off and tossed it in the glove compartment. Ellen noticed. "Going to be a long night for them." "Good," I said. "They earned it." She drove us to a diner on the edge of town. Nothing fancy, just booths and coffee and a jukebox playing songs from decades ago. We slid into a booth in the back, and a waitress brought menus without asking. "Coffee?" she asked. "Whiskey would be better, but coffee works," I said. Ellen ordered the same. When the waitress left, She looked at me with those green eyes that were so different from her sister's. You really knew for 3 months? Yeah. And you waited for tonight. Timing matters, I said. She wanted a party. She got one. Ellen laughed, a genuine sound. You're kind of terrifying, you know that? Only when necessary. The coffee came. We drank it black and bitter, and for the first time in 3 months, I felt like I could breathe properly. The weight of keeping that secret, of planning this moment, had been crushing. Now it was done. Ellen reached across the table and took my hand. Whatever happens next, you did the right thing. I looked down at her hand on mine. Smaller than her sister's, warmer somehow. Did I? Absolutely, she said. She's been lying to everyone for months. You just made sure the truth came out where it hurt most. And you're okay with that? Being here with me instead of with your family. She squeezed my hand. She stopped being my family the moment she decided to betray you. Blood doesn't excuse everything. We sat there until the coffee went cold, talking about nothing and everything, while my phone stayed silent in the glove compartment and the wreckage of my marriage burned itself out miles away. We ended up at Ellen's apartment. She lived alone in a 2-bedroom place downtown, minimalist furniture and plants on every surface. The kind of space that felt calm, purposeful, nothing like the house I'd shared with her sister. Make yourself comfortable, she said, tossing her keys on the counter. I'm going to change. Help yourself to whatever's in the fridge. I grabbed a water and sat on her couch. My phone was still off. Part of me wanted to check it, see how bad the damage was. The smarter part knew it didn't matter. They could call, text, scream into the void. I wasn't answering. Ellen came back wearing jeans and an oversized sweater, her hair down. She looked younger this way, less formal. She sat next to me, tucking her legs underneath her. So, she said, how did you find out? I took a drink. Noticed she started showering as soon as she got home from work. Every single day. Before that, she'd come home, complain about her day, eat dinner. Suddenly, hygiene became urgent. Ellen nodded, listening. Then there were the texts. She'd get a message and smile. But when I'd ask who it was, she'd say work stuff. Nobody smiles at work emails like that. I checked her phone one night while she was asleep. Deleted messages, but not careful enough. Some were still in the trash folder. Let me guess, Ellen said. She forgot phones keep deleted items for 30 days. Exactly. I set the water down. The messages were pretty clear. Lots of can't wait to see you, and last night was incredible. Made me sick, but I didn't confront her. I needed to be sure. So you followed her. Twice. Both times to the same motel. My brother's truck was parked there. Second time, I took photos. Not because I needed proof for myself, but because I knew she'd deny everything. Ellen's jaw tightened. How long has he been doing this? 3 months that I can confirm. Could be longer. I looked at her. You said you noticed her treating me badly for 2 years. What did you see? She hesitated, choosing her words. The way she'd dismiss you in front of people. Make jokes at your expense. Act like spending time with you was a chore. I kept thinking you'd call her out, but you never did. I did. In private. She'd apologize, promise to do better, then do the same thing a week later. That sounds like her, Ellen said quietly. She's always been good at saying what people want to hear. Doesn't mean she believes it. My phone buzzed in my pocket. I turned it back on out of habit. Ellen glanced at it. Want me to check? She offered. Go ahead. She took it, scrolling through. 43 missed calls. Your brother, your wife, her parents. Multiple voicemails. She kept reading. Oh, this is good. Your brother's text says, we need to talk. This isn't what you think. What else would it be? He's creative, I'll give him that. She handed the phone back. Her messages are basically variations of, please call me, and we can work this out. Her mother sent 5 texts asking what happened, and if you're okay. Her mother collapsed when I said it. Did you see that? Hard to miss. Ellen leaned back. She's going to blame herself. Thinks she raised a terrible daughter. She did raise a terrible daughter. Ellen didn't argue. What about your brother? What's his excuse going to be? Doesn't matter. Whatever he says, it won't justify this. I looked at her. Does it bother you that I exposed this in front of everyone? No, she said immediately. She embarrassed herself. You just made sure everyone knew about it. There's a difference. My phone buzzed again. This time it was a call from my brother. Ellen saw the screen and raised an eyebrow. Answer it, she said. Put it on speaker. I want to hear this. I did. What? Jesus Christ. Finally, my brother said. His voice was tight, stressed. What the hell did you do? Told the truth. You have a problem with that. You humiliated her in front of her entire family. You couldn't have handled this like an adult. I laughed. Ellen covered her mouth, trying not to join in. Like an adult. That's rich coming from you. Look, I know you're upset, but you don't understand the situation. Then explain it. I've got time. There was a pause. He was scrambling, trying to find words that would make this acceptable. It just happened. We didn't plan it. Things with you two weren't good, and she needed someone to talk to. So you slept with her. It's more complicated than that. No, I said, my voice harder now. It's actually pretty simple. You're my brother. She's my wife. You both made a choice. Now you get to deal with the consequences. She loves you, he tried. This was just a mistake. Ellen made a disgusted sound. My brother heard it. Who's that? He demanded. Ellen. Silence. Then, quieter, her sister's there. Yeah, she offered support. Unlike you. This is messed up. You know that, right? You're going to her sister now. I'm having a conversation with someone who isn't a liar. Novel concept, I know. He started to say something else, but I hung up. Ellen was watching me, a slight smile on her face. You enjoyed that, she said. Little bit. She moved closer, her shoulder touching mine. For what it's worth, you're handling this better than most people would. I've seen men completely fall apart over less. Falling apart doesn't solve anything. Anger does, when it's focused. Is that what tonight was? Focused anger. That's exactly what it was. I turned to look at her properly. Why are you really here, Ellen? You could have stayed. Tried to fix things with your family. Because, she said, meeting my eyes, I've watched her lie to you for years. I've watched you be patient, kind, understanding. And she threw it away for cheap thrills with your brother. That's not someone I want to defend. Even though she's your sister? Especially because she's my sister. I know what she's capable of. Ellen's hand found mine again. And honestly, I've thought about this for a while. About what would happen if you finally had enough. Thought about what? Whether you'd give someone else a chance. Someone who wouldn't take you for granted. The implication was clear. I should have pulled away, said this was too fast, too complicated. Instead, I stayed exactly where I was. That's a dangerous question, I said. I'm okay with dangerous, she replied. My phone buzzed again. Another call from my wife. We both ignored it. Outside, the city hummed with nighttime traffic, people living their lives, unaware that mine had just detonated spectacularly. Ellen stood up, holding out her hand. Come on, you're sleeping in the guest room tonight. Tomorrow, we figure out next steps. But tonight, you get to rest without wondering who's lying to you. I took her hand and stood. Thank you. Don't thank me yet, she said. When she finds out I'm helping you, things are going to get worse before they get better. I can handle worse. Good, Ellen said, squeezing my hand. Because I have a feeling she's just getting started. She was right, of course. But standing there in Ellen's calm, honest apartment, I didn't care what came next. For the first time in 3 months, I wasn't carrying the weight of someone else's lies. The next morning, I woke up to the smell of coffee and bacon. For a second, I forgot where I was. Then it came back. The party, the explosion, Ellen's guest room with its clean sheets and quiet. I found her in the kitchen, plating breakfast. She'd already showered and dressed, hair pulled back in a ponytail. Morning, she said, sliding a plate toward me. Figured you'd need fuel for whatever today brings. You didn't have to do this. I wanted to. She poured 2 mugs of coffee. Besides, I'm betting you haven't eaten since yesterday afternoon. She was right. I sat down and ate while she leaned against the counter, watching me. Your phone's been buzzing all morning, she said. I put it in the living room so it wouldn't wake you. I checked the time. 9:30. How many calls? Stopped counting at 15. She sipped her coffee. Your wife showed up here around midnight. I looked up. What? Pounded on the door, yelling your name. I didn't answer. She left after 10 minutes, but not before calling me every name she could think of. Ellen's expression didn't change. Security footage caught it all. Building manager already filed a complaint. She knows you're helping me. Obviously. Ellen set her mug down. My mother called too. Wanted to know why I left with you. If I understood what I was doing to the family. I told her the family destroyed itself without my help. What did she say? Hung up on me. Ellen shrugged. They'll come around or they won't. Right now, I'm more concerned about what you're going to do. I finished eating and pushed the plate aside. File for divorce. Today, if possible. You have a lawyer? Not yet. She pulled out her phone and scrolled through contacts. My friend Harold works at a firm downtown. Family law. He's good, and he won't judge you for the circumstances. Can you send me his information? Already did. She looked at me carefully. What about the house? Your stuff. I'll need to go back eventually. Get my clothes, documents, anything important. Want company? You sure you want to be involved in this? Ellen walked over and sat across from me. I'm already involved. And honestly, I've been waiting for someone to stand up to her for years. Might as well be there when you finish the job. My phone rang from the living room. Ellen got up and checked it. Your brother again. Third call this morning. Let him keep calling. She came back with the phone and set it in front of me. You should block him. And her. At least for now. You're probably right. I picked it up and started blocking numbers. My wife, my brother, her parents. Each one felt like cutting a cord. Ellen watched. How does that feel? Cleaner. Good. She stood up. Get dressed. We're going to your house to get your things. Better to do it now while she's probably still at her parents' place. 30 minutes later, we pulled up to the house I'd been paying rent on for 3 years. Ellen parked on the street, and we both got out. The place looked normal, quiet. No sign of my wife's car. I unlocked the door. Inside, everything was exactly as I'd left it yesterday morning. Coffee mug still in the sink. Mail on the counter. The normalcy of it felt surreal after everything that happened. Ellen grabbed some boxes from her car. What do you need? Clothes, laptop, important documents. Everything else can stay. We worked efficiently. I packed my clothes while Ellen gathered documents from the filing cabinet. Birth certificate, tax returns, bank statements. She was thorough, checking every drawer. Found something. She called from the office. I walked in. She was holding a stack of printed emails between my wife and my brother. Dates going back 6 months, not 3. She printed these? I asked. Hidden in a folder labeled recipes. Ellen flipped through them. These are detailed. Hotel names, times, what they did. She kept records. Why would she keep records? Probably got off on it. Some people like having proof of their secrets. Ellen handed them to me. You should keep these. Your lawyer will want them. I took the papers, scanning through. The dates made me sick. 6 months. Half a year of lying to my face while documenting everything with him. You okay? Ellen asked. Yeah. I folded the papers and stuck them in my laptop bag. Just makes it easier to leave. We finished packing. 3 boxes and 2 suitcases. Not much to show for 3 years, but I didn't want anything that reminded me of her anyway. Ellen helped me load everything into her car. As we were closing the trunk, my wife's car turned onto the street. She saw us immediately and accelerated, screeching to a stop in the driveway. She jumped out, face blotchy from crying, hair uncombed. What are you doing? Getting my things, I said calmly. You can't just leave. We need to talk about this. Ellen closed her car door and walked around to stand next to me. My wife's eyes locked onto her sister. Of course you're here, she spat. Couldn't wait to move in on him, could you? I'm helping him get his belongings, Ellen said evenly. Something you lost the right to complain about when you slept with his brother. You don't know anything about our marriage. I know enough. Ellen crossed her arms. I know you've been cheating for 6 months, not 3. We found your printed emails. Very thorough of you. My wife's face went white. You went through my things. Your things? I asked. In the house I pay rent on. This is our home. Not anymore. I walked toward Ellen's car. The lease is in my name. You have 30 days to find somewhere else to live. She rushed forward, grabbing my arm. Please, we can fix this. I made a mistake. I pulled free. A mistake is forgetting to buy milk. This was a choice. Multiple choices over 6 months. I love you, she said, voice breaking. No, you don't. You love what I provide. There's a difference. Ellen opened the car door for me. My wife tried to block it, but Ellen stepped between us. Move, Ellen said quietly. You're really going to destroy our family over this? My wife asked her sister. You destroyed it yourself. I'm just not pretending otherwise. My wife looked between us, desperate. Mom and Dad are devastated. They want us all to sit down and talk. Tell them I'm done talking. I got in the car. Ellen shut the door and walked around to the driver's side. My wife followed her. You're making a mistake. He's going to realize what you're doing and leave you too. Ellen paused, hand on her door handle. The difference between us is I actually care about him. You just cared about what he could give you. She got in and started the engine. My wife stood in the driveway, watching us leave. In the rearview mirror, I saw her collapse onto the pavement, sobbing. I didn't feel guilty. Ellen drove in silence for a few blocks. Then she glanced at me. You handled that well. So did you. She's going to make this difficult. You know that, right? Let her try. I looked out the window at the streets passing by. I've got documentation, witnesses, and a clear conscience. She's got lies and a lover who's going to bail the second things get complicated. Your brother will absolutely bail, Ellen agreed. He's always been good at avoiding consequences. Not this time. She smiled slightly. No, not this time. We drove to Harold's office downtown. He was a tall guy in his 40s, graying at the temples, with the kind of steady demeanor that made you trust him immediately. He listened to everything without interrupting. When I finished, he leaned back in his chair. This is straightforward, he said. Documented infidelity, your name on the lease, no kids. We can file today and have you divorced in a few months. What about her claims to the house or my income? She has no claim to the rental property since the lease is yours. Income division depends on how assets were handled during the marriage, but with this evidence, we can argue for minimal alimony or none at all. When can we start? Harold pulled out forms. Right now? Sign here, here, and here. I'll file these this afternoon. You'll be served with copies, as will she. I signed. Ellen watched from the chair next to me. When we finished, Harold walked us to the door. Expect her to fight this. Nobody likes being exposed as a cheater, especially publicly. Good, I said. I'm ready. We left his office and got back in Ellen's car. She started driving, but didn't head toward her apartment. Where are we going? I asked. Lunch. You need to eat. And I know a place where we won't run into anyone who was at that party. She took me to a small diner across town, the kind of place with red vinyl booths and laminated menus. We ordered burgers and fries and ate while making plans for the next few weeks. You can stay with me as long as you need, Ellen said. Guest room's yours. I appreciate it, but I should find my own place soon. Why rush? Unless being around me is a problem. It's not. I met her eyes. That's kind of the point. This is happening fast. She reached across the table and took my hand. We don't have to define anything right now, but I meant what I said last night. I've watched you be a good person for years. If you want to explore whatever this is between us, I'm not going anywhere. I squeezed her hand. Okay, she echoed, smiling. My phone buzzed. A text from Harold. Divorce papers filed. My wife would be served within 48 hours. It was happening. The ending I'd been planning since the day I found those messages was finally in motion. And sitting across from Ellen, I didn't feel sad about it. I felt free. 3 days after filing, my brother showed up at Ellen's building. The doorman called up, and I told him to let him through. Ellen raised an eyebrow. You sure about this? She asked. Might as well get it over with. When he knocked, I opened the door but didn't invite him in. He looked terrible, unshaven, circles under his eyes, shirt wrinkled. Can we talk? He asked. You've got 5 minutes. He glanced past me at Ellen sitting on the couch. Alone? No. Whatever you have to say, you can say in front of her. He shifted uncomfortably. Look, I know I messed up, but ending our entire relationship over this seems extreme. I laughed. Actually laughed. Extreme? You slept with my wife for 6 months. That's pretty extreme. It wasn't personal. How is sleeping with my wife not personal? He ran his hand through his hair. I mean, it wasn't about hurting you. It just happened. We connected, and things got out of hand. Ellen spoke from the couch. Did you connect before or after you knew she was married to your brother? He shot her a look. This doesn't concern you. I'm making it my concern, she said calmly. I crossed my arms. Answer the question. After obviously, but you two were having problems. She told me you barely talked anymore, that you were distant. So you believed her sob story and decided to be the hero? I was being a friend. Friends don't sleep with their brother's wife. I stepped closer. You want to know what's funny? She kept printed copies of your messages, detailed descriptions of everything you did together. I gave them to my lawyer. His face went pale. What? 6 months of evidence. Hotel names, dates, times. Very thorough. I watched him process this. Did you think she'd keep this quiet? That you could walk away clean? I didn't think about it. That's your problem. You never think. I leaned against the doorframe. How's work going, by the way? I heard some people found out about what you did. He clenched his jaw. Dad told everyone at the shop. Now nobody will talk to me. Consequences are difficult, aren't they? You're enjoying this, he said bitterly. Little bit, yeah. I shrugged. You destroyed my marriage and expected what? That I'd forgive you? Move on like nothing happened. We're brothers. We're brothers. Past tense. I straightened up. Here's how this works. You don't call me. You don't text me. You don't show up here again. If I see you on the street, I'll walk the other way. We're done. That's it. You're just cutting me out. You cut yourself out when you made your choice. I'm just making it official. He looked past me at Ellen again. And you're okay with this? Helping him burn down his entire family. Ellen stood up and walked to the door. His family burned itself down. I'm just here for what comes after. My brother's expression hardened. You two deserve each other. Thanks, I said. Now leave. He stood there for another moment, like he was going to say something else. Then he turned and walked away. I closed the door and locked it. Ellen touched my shoulder. You all right? Better than I expected. I turned to face her. That's the last conversation I'll ever have with him. Good. She wrapped her arms around me. He didn't deserve 5 minutes. Probably not. But now I know he's suffering too. That helps. My phone buzzed. A message from Harold. My wife had been served. Her lawyer had already reached out, asking for a meeting to discuss settlement terms. She's trying to negotiate, I said, showing Ellen the message. Of course she is. What are you going to do? Tell Harold to proceed with the original terms. She gets nothing except what's legally required, which based on the evidence is basically nothing. Ellen smiled. You're really not going to give her an inch, are you? Why would I? She had 6 months to think about consequences. Now she gets to experience them. She kissed me then, soft and deliberate. When she pulled back, she was still smiling. I like this version of you. Which version? The one who doesn't take disrespect from anyone. Took me long enough to find him. Better late than never, she said. Outside, the sun was setting over the city. Somewhere, my wife was probably reading divorce papers and realizing she'd lost everything. My brother was sitting alone, cut off from family and friends. And I was here, in Ellen's apartment, planning a future that didn't include either of them. For the first time in 6 months, I felt like I could breathe. 2 months later, the settlement meeting happened. Harold had pushed for minimal division since we'd kept separate bank accounts, and the infidelity was documented. My wife's lawyer tried arguing for emotional distress compensation. Harold shut that down fast. We met in a conference room downtown. My wife sat across from me with her lawyer, a middle-aged woman named Ms. Pruitt who looked annoyed at having to defend an obvious cheater. My wife had lost weight, dark circles under her eyes, hair pulled back tight. She wouldn't look at me directly. My client is willing to accept a clean break, Ms. Pruitt started. No alimony, equal division of shared assets, which amounts to the furniture in the rental property. The furniture I paid for, I said. Harold held up a hand. My client is willing to let her take what she wants from the property, provided she removes it within 2 weeks and returns the keys. Ms. Pruitt nodded. Acceptable. My wife finally spoke. What about the car? Which car? I asked. The one we bought together. The one I make payments on? That's mine. Her lawyer checked her notes. The vehicle is in your client's name solely? Correct, Harold confirmed. My wife's hands clenched on the table. This is vindictive. No, I said calmly. This is fair. You want vindictive? I could have sent those printed emails to your workplace. I didn't. She looked up sharply. You wouldn't. I didn't say I wouldn't. I said I didn't. I leaned back. Yet. Ms. Pruitt intervened. Is my client being threatened? No, Harold said smoothly. My client is simply noting he's been remarkably restrained given the circumstances. The meeting wrapped up quickly after that. Papers were signed, terms agreed upon. My wife would get the furniture, I'd keep everything else. The divorce would be finalized in 30 days. As we stood to leave, my wife grabbed my arm. Can we talk? Just for a minute. I looked at Harold. He nodded and stepped outside with Ms. Pruitt. What do you want? I asked. I'm sorry. I know that doesn't mean anything now, but I am. Her voice cracked. I lost everything. My family won't speak to me. I had to move back in with my parents. Everyone knows what I did. Good. You really hate me that much? I don't hate you. I just don't care anymore. I picked up my bag. You made choices. You documented those choices. Now you live with them. What about Ellen? Are you two together now? That's none of your business. She's my sister. Was your sister. She stopped claiming you when you showed her who you are. My wife's eyes filled with tears. I hope you're happy together. We are, I said, because it was true. I walked out. Harold was waiting in the hall. All set. Yeah, let's go. Ellen was waiting in her car outside. I got in, and she immediately asked, how'd it go? It's done. 30 days, and I'm officially free. She smiled and started driving. Where do you want to go? Home, I said. She'd asked me to move in officially last week. I'd said yes without hesitation. Her place had become home faster than the house I'd rented for 3 years ever did. Home it is, she said, taking my hand. My phone buzzed. A message from my brother. I deleted it without reading and blocked his new number. Some doors stayed closed. Ellen glanced at me. You okay? Better than okay. I squeezed her hand. I'm exactly where I need to be. She pulled into the parking garage of our building. Our building. That still felt new good. We went upstairs, ordered takeout, and spent the evening on the couch watching movies. Normal, easy, honest. Everything my marriage had never been. 30 days later, the divorce was final. I got the notification via email while having breakfast with Ellen. I showed her the screen. Congratulations, she said, kissing me. How does it feel? Like starting over? Good, she said. Because that's exactly what this is. And she was right. My wife had moved across town, cut off from her family and old friends. My brother had quit his job and left the state after nobody would work with him. They'd both gotten exactly what they deserved. I had Ellen, a fresh start, and zero regrets about burning down a life built on lies. Some endings are just new beginnings in disguise. 6 months after the divorce was finalized, I ran into her parents at a hardware store. They saw me first. Her father nodded stiffly and kept walking. Her mother paused, looking like she wanted to say something, then thought better of it and followed him. I didn't chase them down, didn't need their validation or forgiveness. They'd chosen to stand by their daughter despite everything, and that was their choice to make. Ellen and I were doing well, better than well. She'd gotten a promotion at work, and we'd started talking about buying a place together. Something that was ours from the start, not tainted by memories of someone else. My former wife had apparently moved 2 states away. I heard this third hand from an old mutual friend who felt the need to update me. She was working retail, living alone, still blocked by most of her family. Ellen's parents had reached out to Ellen a few times, trying to mend things, but Ellen kept them at arm's length. They had chances to do the right thing, she told me. They chose her lies over the truth. That's on them. My brother never reached out again after I blocked his numbers. Last I heard, he was working construction somewhere down south. We'd never speak again, and I was fine with that. One evening, Ellen and I were having dinner when she brought up the anniversary party. Do you ever regret how you did it? She asked. Exposing everything publicly like that? I thought about it. No. She wanted a celebration. I gave her one she'll never forget. And everyone who needed to know the truth got it all at once. No lingering what-ifs. None. I reached across the table and took her hand. Best decision I ever made. Let me hear. She smiled. That's disgustingly romantic. You love it. I do, she admitted. A year after the party, Ellen and I got engaged. Small ceremony, just close friends. Nobody from her family attended, and I didn't invite mine. We didn't need them. We had each other and people who actually gave a damn about us. The day of our wedding, I got a text from an unknown number. I almost deleted it, but curiosity won. It was from my ex-wife. I heard you're getting married. I hope you're happy. I showed Ellen. She read it and handed the phone back. Are you going to respond? No point. I deleted the message and blocked the number. She's part of a life I don't live anymore. Ellen kissed me. Good answer. We got married that afternoon. No drama, no explosions, no unwanted guests. Just 2 people who'd found each other in the wreckage of someone else's lies and decided to build something honest. Later that night, at our small reception, Ellen pulled me aside. Thank you, she said. For what? For being exactly who you are. For not letting her break you. She touched my face. For giving me a chance. I should be thanking you. You were there when everyone else wanted me to just forgive and forget. Some things don't deserve forgiveness, she said simply. I kissed her, my wife, in a room full of people who actually cared about us. And I thought about that anniversary party, that moment when I decided enough was enough. Best decision I ever made. My ex-wife was somewhere out there, living with the consequences of her choices. My brother was gone, cut off permanently. Her family had lost both daughters because they couldn't accept the truth. And me? I was married to someone who chose honesty over convenience, who stood by me when it would have been easier to walk away. Some stories don't have happy endings for everyone. This one did for the people who deserved it. And that was enough.